After more than 40 cruises, we did something that I swore I would never do, and that is taking a short 3-day cruise. And truthfully, I wasn't sure what to expect. Typically, I like a longer cruise where you can relax as well as visit the cruise ports. But this was a 3-day weekend cruise, and truthfully, I wasn't sure what we were going to get. Hi there, I'm Ilana from the website lifewellcruise.com. Welcome back to my channel. We recently did our shortest cruise yet. We took a 3-day cruise on board Celebrity Silhouette. And by the way, even though I wasn't sure if this would be worth it, this cruise was less expensive than staying in a hotel, so I was willing to give it a try. Now, I had some questions before we boarded. Firstly, would this feel like a Celebrity cruise? Now, we have cruised with Celebrity before. We really like them. As a matter of fact, last year we cruised on Celebrity Ascent, one of their newest cruise ships. So beautiful. And I just wasn't sure if a short cruise, especially on an older ship, would have that same feeling. Now, secondly, would this be a party cruise? You know, it is a 3-day cruise, and I just wasn't sure exactly what we were getting into. And finally, would 3 days just feel too short? Would we have even enough time to relax, and would it feel fulfilling? Now, in this video, I am going to answer those 3 questions, as well as share a review of our cabin, of the dining and food, of the entertainment, of the public spaces, of the ports, and the overall atmosphere and vibe on board. Now, I'm also going to share some of the highs and lows for me, or in other words, some of the things that I really liked best and thought that Celebrity did really well, and some of the other areas that I think maybe Celebrity could have improved. Now, before I get started, I did want to mention that if you like this video, if you find it helpful, informative, or enjoyable in any way, then please do give this video a big thumbs up. I really do appreciate it, and please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Let's get started. So first, a little bit of information about Celebrity Silhouette as well as our cruise. Now, Celebrity Silhouette is a Solstice class cruise ship that was built in 2011 and refurbished in early 2020. It is approximately 122,000 tons and accommodates 2,285 passengers at double occupancy. Now, we were pretty excited about our itinerary. Our cruise left from Port Everglades, Fort Lauderdale, and went to Key West and Nassau, Bahamas. We have not been to Key West in about 20 years. We had such a good time. I'm going to share with you what we did in Key West a little bit later in the video. This was actually our first time on a Solstice class cruise ship. And as we entered Celebrity Silhouette and saw the grand foyer, it was very beautiful. Now, the wood itself was dark in color, which makes some sense because it was built in 2011. But I can tell you that throughout our 3 days, we found that the cruise ship was really very well kept and well maintained. I will show you a little bit more of the public spaces throughout the video. Our cabin. The cabin that we had was a veranda balcony cabin, and I was pretty impressed because even though this cruise ship is old, I really liked the fact that this cabin felt bright. It felt spacious. The size of the bathroom was overall quite good. And we liked the fact that in our cabin, we had our bed, I guess that is 2 beds that are pushed together, as well as a full-size sofa. Now, if you are 4 people in the cabin, you actually have a sofa that converts to a trundle bed, as well as a Pullman bed, which is like a bunk bed that comes out of the ceiling. Now, we were 3 people, so our son slept on the Pullman bed. There was also a lot of storage in this cabin, so I have to say, for a 3-day cruise, we didn't necessarily need all of it, but we were 3 people in the cabin, so it did come in handy. But I did particularly like these bathrobes that you could request. Food and dining. Now, we ate all of our dinners in the main dining room, and we had select dining, so that meant that we could go at the time that we were ready. Now, while we lined up for maybe a few minutes, it was never a very long wait. Now, the menus and the appetizers, as well as the main dishes, we did find there was a nice variety, and the food was very tasty. Some of the highlights included the salmon as well as the prime rib. Now, I know that Celebrity is known as a premium cruise line, if not an upper premium, and they often refer to themselves as modern luxury. And Celebrity is very good. But still, we do find that when it comes to the main dining room food over the last couple of years, that the main dining room of Celebrity is good, but it is on par with other cruise lines that are premium or even contemporary. If you have cruised with Celebrity both in the past or more recently, please let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. Now, that said, there are a lot of different dining options on Celebrity Silhouette. They had the Ocean View Cafe, which is their buffet, and there was a really good variety of food, breakfast in particular. The quality is quite good. We really liked having the Eggs Benedict as well as the omelets. For lunch, you also have choices in the buffet. And you have one place that a lot of people don't realize is included. So I do want to let you know, it is Mast Grill. So it is one deck above the main pool, and the hot dogs, the burgers, the other French fries, etc., all of those different things, that is included. So that is a great place to go for a casual lunch. Also included is Cafe Al Baccio. While the coffee is not included, they have a variety of pastries that are very good. That is included. And check the hours, but there are some different foods available at the Spa Cafe. Now, on a side note, we decided not to get a drink package on this cruise, which I may regret just a little bit. I'm going to actually share with you what happened when I did bring wine with me to the main dining room in, well, my lows a little bit later on in the video. The entertainment. Now, the entertainment was pretty good. You know, you had your standard shows that were in the theater. This included a comedian, and that's always going to be subjective, as well as some production shows. But one of the things that I really liked on board this ship was that there were activities going on throughout the cruise ship. So there were like game shows and audience participation shows just going on in some of the different public areas, in particular in the Grand Foyer at nighttime. So I don't know if it was maybe after about 8 or even 9 p.m. Music was on, so you had a band playing, you had the silent disco, just had a variety of, I guess it was music orientated activities, but people were dancing, people were having a lot of fun, and there were some themed parties going on there as well. Now, this was definitely more of a party scene than I've ever seen on Celebrity. So I am going to share with you who was on this cruise ship, like the demographic, and who I think this cruise is for. Public areas. Now, starting with the pool deck was definitely the place to be during the day on this cruise ship. Now, the main pool area has 2 pools, some hot tubs, and this was definitely a pretty happening scene. Now, one good thing, you could pretty much always get a deck chair, so that was really good. If you just looked on the upper decks, you could definitely find some, even if it wasn't super close to the pool. But at the pools, you could, of course, swim and enjoy that. But there was also a band playing later on in the day, and there were some audience participation games as well. Now, not to worry, for those that prefer relaxing a little bit more, the indoor pool is beautiful. So the solarium pool is absolutely lovely. A lot of places to sit comfortably, as well as a beautiful pool and hot tub. Now, in this area is where you have the Spa Cafe. So at different times of the day, you can eat and snack there, but there's also a water and iced tea machine and coffee available as well. Now, a little special touch that you're going to find on Celebrity, and I had not seen this before, but somebody did point it out to me, and it is the fact that there was sunscreen that was available. So if you forget yours at home, they did have this on the pool deck. Now, when it came to the other public areas, some areas did show a little bit of their age in terms of being just a little bit dated because the decor was a little bit on the dark side. Now, a pretty interesting feature that you don't see on cruise ships very much these days anymore are the panoramic elevators that actually face inwards into the cruise ship. So this was actually pretty nice, especially if there were activities going on in the atrium or the grand foyer. This was a pretty good view. And at one point, we even had dancers that came into our elevator and the show continued there. Now, one area that I particularly like is the martini bar with the ice bar. I still love that. And in terms of the other public areas, they're all overall pretty nice as well as you go through the cruise ship, including the shopping area. Now, when it came to the main dining room, I expected to love it because I love a big grand dining room, but the lighting is a little bit on the yellow side and it just looks like maybe it just needs a little bit of updating in terms of the decor. I had heard that Celebrity is in the future going to be revitalizing their cruise ships again, so I hope that Celebrity Silhouette is on the short list. The itinerary. Now, on our boarding day, it was kind of rainy and misty, so we didn't have that beautiful sunny day. But we had gorgeous days in both Key West and in Nassau. Now in Nassau, truthfully, we've been many times. I think it was even like 5 times last year. So we decided to just get off in Nassau for a few minutes, walk around, and then we headed back to the cruise ship. But we absolutely loved Key West and we took advantage of exploring there. Now what we did is we rented an electric golf cart. We actually just picked up a map so we could know some of the areas that we would want to go. It was very easy and felt very safe to drive there. We also did use our Google Maps, so that helped as well. And we pretty much went to the tourist spots and all of the different highlights. But we were on a quest that day to find what was the very best key lime pie. Now, I don't know if we found the very best or not, but this was highly recommended. It was very good. We went to Blue Heaven, which the only thing is, I would say when you go there, put your name in right away, much earlier than you think you will go, because it took us an hour and a half by the time we finally got seated. We were able to go away and they sent us a text message later, so it was fine. But that was a really unique atmosphere where there were chickens around. Anyway, Key West is an absolutely wonderful place. I would definitely love to go again. So what was the vibe like? Well, to tell you the truth, I was surprised. And I don't know what I was expecting, but our other Celebrity cruises have been a little bit more mature cruisers or mature passengers. This was definitely not the case on this cruise. It actually felt a little bit closer to maybe a Royal Caribbean cruise without all of the kids, but definitely a lot of people in their 30s and 40s and people that were, of course, older, 50s, 60s, etc. But a lot of groups, girls trips, so a lot of women that were celebrating their 50th birthday, for example, bachelor parties, even friends all together, even couples that were friends, couples on their own as well. And I think that this really was a good fit because it definitely had that fun vibe and there definitely was something for everybody. Now for me, I really loved it. I actually liked it much more than I thought, but I do think if I was looking for that relaxing, more upscale feeling that Celebrity cruises often have, I don't think that this is necessarily representative, so that's just something to keep in mind. Now, when this cruise was over, I definitely had some thoughts about a 3-day cruise and if I would do it again. But first, let me share with you my highs and lows. So starting with the lows, I just have to share one point about this cruise ship, which overall I really did like, but it is the lawn club. I was really looking forward to seeing the lawn club, see what it would be really like because it is real grass growing on Celebrity Silhouette on the lawn club. And this was really so innovative when it first came out, but truthfully, nothing was happening, unfortunately, during our sailing. It was pretty much closed off most of the time. And in speaking with the staff, they told me most of the time it's not really open for anything happening. I don't know if that is just something recent. So if you know anything about this, please do let me know down in the comments below. The other thing is I decided to not get a drink package for this very short cruise. Usually I do get the all-included package, which includes a drink package on Celebrity. I like it, but I didn't think I would need it for this short sailing. And instead we decided to bring wine on board, which we are allowed to do. Now I knew that there was a corkage fee if I brought this to the dining room. I have no problem with this. I always pay it if I ever do this on other cruise ships, but this was the highest corkage fee I have ever had on a cruise ship. It was $42 because it was $35 US, plus there was an additional 20% service charge on this. $42 to open up the bottle of wine I brought. I honestly thought it was too much. In any case, that was on me. I brought the wine. So it's just a little bit of a warning if you decide to do that. Maybe I would have been better off getting that all-included package. And the other thing is, something that we had noticed is there just wasn't enough time to really get that personalization with some of the crew. So for instance, your waiters or your cabin attendant, and that's nobody's fault. That is just something with a short cruise, I feel like just not going to have, and we did miss just a little bit. Now, what were my highs? What did I love? I really like this ship, and I could see when this ship is fixed up, what a great ship this is. And if it was doing a longer sailing, I would really like it. I do like Celebrity Silhouette, and I like the Solstice class. The other thing that I really liked was how much fun this cruise was. I would definitely consider doing this cruise with maybe some girlfriends or some couple friends. If you are in the area for a short cruise, this is an absolute no-brainer. But even if you could fly in and out, if you can catch an inexpensive flight, I definitely think it is worth it. Now, as I mentioned early on in the video, the price of our cruise was approximately the same price, if not even a little bit cheaper than a hotel. So it was about $100 per person per day for our cruise. And again, that didn't include the beverage package, but that includes your accommodations, that includes all of your food, all of your entertainment, and being brought right over to Key West. So I didn't have to drive there, and being brought to Nassau for anybody who wants to visit there. So overall, I really think it was such a great value vacation for the quality that we got. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Please let me know if you've ever done a short 3 or 4 day cruise, or if you've considered it. Please let me know down in the comments below. And let me know, please, as well, any questions that you have about Celebrity Silhouette that I could help with. Now, I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do give it a big thumbs up. I really do appreciate it. And please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Bye for now, and happy cruising.